Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Sparks Toyota, and I'm checking out a 2021 Toyota Venza in the limited trim level. This vehicle is sitting on 225/55 Bridgestone tires, wrapped around 19-inch alloy wheels and super chrome. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors in the front and solid rotors in the back. The name of this color is Blizzard Pearl. And from a distance, it kind of looks like a regular white, but when you get close, you can see it's a really nice white pearl coat. Hopefully the lighting in here is doing it justice, because it's just a really impressive color. I guess you have to really see it in person. I'm glad it is the white color so we can see all the accents and different features of the vehicle. So here in the front, check it out, just the design, where this portion here comes out and underneath the headlights, it kind of swings out. It has this really impressive arc, and then it comes forward and wraps around to the side of the vehicle. And then here you have a little accent. This kind of blends in with other colors, but this actually is a functional vent for wheel well ventilation to give you an air curtain for better aerodynamics. You also have a camera system, a 360 camera system, and here's the front camera here. It's kind of blended in nicely, and you notice it's in the very center, so that's excellent. You also have parking sensors. You can see one hidden in the black, and then there's one hidden in the white. Now the headlights, they have a really nice LED daytime running light, and from what I can tell, all the exterior and interior lights on this vehicle are LED, and they're really sharp and crisp and look fantastic. It's important to know that the new Venza is a completely hybrid vehicle. There is no non-hybrid version of the Venza. Looking at the profile, you can see the handles are body colored, the upper portion of the side mirror is body colored. This pillar here in between the glass is gloss black. That blends in and solidifies all this glass. Now the dealership has tinted the front glass, but it's just really nice to have that gloss black pillars to solidify it, and it's outlined by chrome trimming, which looks pretty cool. And the wheels are fantastic. That's what really caught my eye at a distance, is it has really nice, classy wheels. They're not tacky or anything like that. They just look like a high quality, nice, really good looking wheel to me. This is what the key looks like, and it's a proximity key designed to where you can just keep it in your pocket and use the vehicle 100%. Now, it is a fairly large key. It's kind of thick and it has a little bit of a weight to it, but it's not overly heavy, I don't think, for its size. But it does have useful buttons. It does have the lock, unlock, the ability to open up the power lift gate, and a panic button. There's a physical key on the inside as well when you need that. It also has remote start. You just have to press the lock button 3 times and then hold it on the 3rd time, and it will start the vehicle. And since this is a hybrid, you may not hear the engine run, but it will illuminate the lights and let you know that it is on when the engine doesn't turn on. So as long as you have the key with you, it can be in your pocket, in a bag, as long as it's within a close proximity of the outside of the door. So with the higher trim levels, you can have the sensors on all 4 doors. On the lower trim level, it'll only be on the driver, the front doors here. But there's a little lock indicator, a little sensor indicated by these 2 lines. You put your finger over that, it senses your hand position, it senses the key within a close proximity of the door, and it locks the door. Also, this one has the power folding side mirrors when you lock the doors. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle, unlocks the door and allows you access to the vehicle, unfolds the side mirrors. So there's a sensor back here. It allows you access to the vehicle. There is a physical key location here on the driver's side only as well. You remember the camera in the front? Well, there's a camera on both sides of the side mirror. Both side mirrors basically right here, and this stitches in for the 360 camera system. You also have on the higher trims a puddle light right here. Illuminates here on the ground as you approach the vehicle at night. Now the doors, I don't know if you noticed this, you can see this plastic piece right here. This here, it doesn't go around the wheel wells, it's just on the bottom of the vehicle. But that kind of blends in, it's hard to tell, but when you open the door, you can see the door actually goes all the way down. So it goes all the way down to the bottom of the vehicle. So this threshold area, it helps to keep that somewhat clean so you don't get your clothes dirty when you're entering and exiting the vehicle as much. You notice it has a little puddle light there as well. LED powered, it looks like. Nice white, clean light. So the inside of this vehicle is black. So is very dark. You can get the lighter colors, but this one is the darker color, which looks pretty cool to me. So here you have soft touch surfaces here all the way down. All this is all one piece. This is all soft touch, and the materials feel really, really nice. It's really interesting just kind of feeling your way around this vehicle. This is a little places enclosed, so you can utilize that for a pocket. It actually has a felt lining at the bottom. Then there's a larger pocket there at the bottom. Down here is hard touch plastics. Pretty interesting looking speaker grill. And it has this little thing right here, just for looks. I guess it's kind of blending in the handle and that with the metallic. Threshold is illuminated with the Venza name in this little sill plate. It's looking pretty nice. It'll pop out a little bit better at nighttime. And it has a power seat here on the passenger side. It doesn't go up or down, it just goes forward and back, and then a tilt. No lumbar adjustments either. These are heated and cooled, heated and ventilated Softex seats. So it's a synthetic leather material. You can see this perforated there on the center portion. And you have the smooth leather here on the outside. Really comfortable and just impressive looking seats. Have some stitching as well. Here's the leg space here on the front. Nice wide open space, slight tapering, but not a big deal at all. Looking really nice. Now it has a locking glove compartment. Smooth plastic there on the inside. A little bit larger than average, I would say. It has some ambient lighting. I don't know if you can see that. Some nice blue ambient lighting. This vehicle, since the higher trim levels have this really nice, impressive ambient light. Hopefully I'll be able to do a night video soon. Really interesting styling in the inside of this vehicle. So this is all soft touch here. Really interesting soft touch surfaces. The dash is a hard touch though. Wait till you see what the sunroof does. It's really cool. So you notice how wide and the large the opening is here in the front. The door swings out quite a bit, and it's just a really easy to enter and exit. It has a good height off the ground. It's just really easy, comfortable height and opening. Pretty much the same thing with the back as well. It's just wide open space. I mean, the door swings out to an adequate amount. The head this piece right here is a little bit of an angle compared to the front. Other than that, it's pretty easy to get in and out. There's plenty of legroom in the front as well as the back. It's a really practical vehicle as far as that goes, getting in and out. So the inside, the materials here on the inside, this is soft touch all the way down here, just like the front. Soft touch as well. You have a little pocket there and at the bottom. Then you have the hard touch down here. Less embellishments here on the back door compared to the front. But generally the same kind of style. So the back seats, it does have this armrest with cup holders that flips up out of the way. But basically it's like a bench seat. It does have the the latch system for car seats, or ISOFIX, whatever you want to call it. And these seats do fold down when needed to add to your cargo space. On the back of both front seats is this pocket. So it's kind of hard to tell, it's dark in here, but there's a pocket right there on the back of both front seats. And then there is a pretty significant hump here on the center portion. There's vents here on the back of the console. There's also, down below, is 2 USB ports. And the hump in the center is pretty big, but it is flat on the top, so, you know, kind of helps out a little bit as far as if you had like somebody with short legs or whatever can sit there, probably no problem, especially temporary. Now you can fold these seats down. It's a 60-40 split. There's the latch. You can pull it and fold it down fairly easy. And you just lift it up and snap it in place, and this helps with your cargo space. It does lift up a little bit. It's not completely flat, but it's pretty close. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it has a body-colored shark fin antenna here at the very top, right there. And at the top of the glass is your third brake light. It's a nice long LED strip, looking really nice. Same thing with the tail lights, LEDs, and it goes all the way across the vehicle here. Really impressive, and kind of makes the vehicle stand out at nighttime when you're on the highway. You have good visibility, and the other vehicles see you as well. You know, you have good visibility in other people's eyes, which is nice. Now, there's one thing that's strange to me, and that is why the backup camera is so far offset. It's way over here. You notice the one in the front is in the very center. This one's way over there. Not really a fan of that, but that's just the way it is. Has parking sensors across the back as well. The reverse lights, all the LED, the lights back here are LEDs. Really nice, crisp, sharp, white LEDs for the reverse light, and just really impressive lighting with this vehicle. I can't wait to do a night video as soon as possible. So you have dual exhaust tips here on this trim. So let's go ahead and lift up the power lift gate. Of course, we can use the key, but there's a button under here. LED tag lights as well. And this one has the, look at the size of those shocks there for raising the power lift gate. So there's a shade, and it is removable. You can slide it out of the way. You can also remove it if you like. There is only one light back here, and that's here on the right side, but it is an LED, so that's nice. So your cargo space is really big, and I'll put all the measurements and dimensions and all that stuff in the description, so you can scan through all the specs if you'd like. But just looking at it, it looks pretty big compared to the size of the vehicle. It does have a JBL sound system with a subwoofer integrated. Now this lifts up, and there's a spare tire. It does have an alloy wheel, but it is just a temporary spare tire. Back here is your jack and different tools and stuff. But you notice there's a lot of space above the tire. So this area, there's some little spaces back there for cargo. You can put some stuff, whatever you want. And back here around the spare tire, if you want to, put bags or whatever, just stuff that you want to keep with you, and then it's out of the way. This is a lot of space here. Now this is just rests down. It doesn't latch or anything. It just kind of sits there. Now it's a 60-40 split, and so you can fold down one seat or the other and add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space, or you can fold both of them down and have a nice wide open space for cargo when needed. Now lowering the power liftgate, there's actually two buttons, and they're both backlit illuminated. But you notice this one's a regular, this one closes the power lift gate. This one also does close it, but you notice there's a lock. But if you want to lock the vehicle and walk away, so let's say you get your stuff out, you're ready to walk away from the vehicle, you just push that button, it lowers the power lift gate, and then it locks the vehicle as soon as it secures it. It has a locking fuel door, and it's here on the driver's side, which is nice. And it has a traditional cap, tether, and a little place to hang the cap right here. So you can put it right there while you're pumping gas. There'll be a link in the description for these little magnets. They're based on my pointer that I use for my videos. So if you'd like to buy magnets or keychains or stickers or anything like that, there will be a link in the description. There's the floorboard in the front of the driver's seat. Now you notice the floor mat hooks in place. So you can secure that floor mat, keep it from sliding around on you. Now I know it's kind of dark in here, but there's your accelerator that pivots at the bottom, the brake pedal, and then there's a really large footrest there on the left side. So let's take a look under the hood. The hood latch is here to the right of the fuel release. To open the hood, there is a latch basically right here in the very center. There's a center of the vehicle. Reach in and down and move it to the left. You can lift it up. You see there's the latch right there. It does require a prop to hold it up, and there's the prop, and it swings down to that arrow. So there's some insulation there on the underside of the hood, and the engine compartment is pretty well sealed. It has a seal there across the back and here on the sides. This helps with airflow, but also noise isolation. You also have an insulated firewall. And typically, vehicles have a plastic cover here. This one has a foam cover. There's a couple reasons for this. Part of it is to help with, echoing noises as far as like having a hard plastic cover, but also it's soft for pedestrian impacts. So, kind of cushions for wherever the situation arises where this engine block has a little bit of a cushion on the top, which is strange, but apparently that's a safety feature. Now there is some heat shielding back there because the exhaust flows out of the back of the vehicle, and the intake is here in the front. Now this is a hybrid system, so it uses a 4-cylinder, 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, an electric motor, and of course a battery that stores the power while you're driving. Now it pumps out a combined 219 horsepower, and all this is transferred to the wheels using an electronic continuously variable transmission. So it's a CVT transmission, the same that you will find in the RAV4 and the Toyota Prius. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. So you see it has 2 presets for your power seat here on the driver's side. Power windows are 1 touch up and down. And then you have the power door locks, and the side mirrors are adjusted here with this. You just pick a side and adjust it with like a little joystick. Now if you want the side mirrors to automatically fold in, you can do that, or you can manually do that if you'd like. So unlike the passenger side, the driver's side you can go up and down and tilt and all kinds of different positions of the seats, like a dentist chair. And then you have a 4-way lumbar adjustment as well. So it definitely one-ups the passenger side for sure. Multiple one-ups. Here to the left of the steering column, there's a few buttons. So it has your dimmer switch for your interior gauges, your automatic high beams, which you can turn on or off. Traction control is default on. You can turn that off if you like here. You can view the camera system. Even when you're not in reverse, you can go ahead and push that button to do that. This is an unused space, and then you have heated steering wheel and the ability to open up the power lift gate here. It has a 4-way power steering wheel, so it has a tilt and telescoping powered, so that way you can safely do it while you're driving. If you need to make a quick adjustment, it's not a big deal. You're not releasing the steering column like a manually adjusted one. This one does have the optional heads-up display, and it shows your digital speedometer and different information here. And it looks pretty good. It doesn't seem like it's too annoying. I know the background isn't perfect for showing this, but it looks pretty darn good as far as the position. Now you can adjust the brightness, the position, you can even adjust the tilt back and forth. Okay, so I'm sitting in the driver's seat, check it out, and I'm 6 feet tall, and I have the seat all the way back and all the way down. And I'm gonna go ahead and tilt the front down as well, just to show you all the possible, how much legroom you can have. So with me, I'd probably would have it almost all the way back, being, the way I am. And you can see the legroom there is nice as far as the pedal is not obstructed by this. This actually sticks out a little bit, but it doesn't interfere. There's lots of room here. I mean, they did a good job of, keeping your legroom clear here on the left side and the right side. This is all dished out, so you have lots of legroom. And the footrest here on the left side is nice and big. It's really nice overall. The tilt is good as well. Okay, so the steering wheel, and it's a wrapped steering wheel, leather wrapped. I don't know if it's Softex or leather. It doesn't really say, but it is a nice, comfortable, and has some cushion to it. So some steering wheels are like really hard, and this one has a good thickness, but it also has a little bit of a give. So it just really feels nice, and it maintains a good thickness all the way around. So the buttons on the steering wheel, you can see this bottom portion here is kind of separate than the top portions. So this is your volume for your radio, your voice recognition, mode, which is your audio source, and then this changes through your tracks or whatever particular thing you're playing. So like say if you're playing something off a USB or whatever, or your phone, you can go to the next song there. Right above it is your adaptive cruise control system and your road departure and lane keep assist information here. So once you turn it on by pushing this button, you can set, resume, and cancel like a normal cruise control. But here on the left side is the special features. So this right here, this will be your lane tracing. So lane tracing is a little bit, lane tracing actually follows the road. It doesn't just keep you from exiting the road. Some systems, basically your car will wander to the edge and then it'll kind of like bump it back and kind of ping pong balls back and forth. The lane tracing follows the road and follows the line. It also uses, if there's a vehicle in front of you, it kind of follows them as well. It uses all that information with the radar system and the camera system to kind of keep you in the center of the lane and kind of going. So that way you don't have a lot of fatigue as far as micro corrections with your hand trying to maintain the center of the road while you're driving. It's an assist system. It doesn't actually drive the vehicle for you, but it's pretty neat how it works. And then this button right here is for your adaptive cruise control to set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. So if you're like a further distance, you can just push that button and rest on the particular setting you want as far as the distance. Here on the left side, these buttons, other than the phone button, correspond with the screen between the gauges. So if you want to answer or hang up, you can use that with your Bluetooth system. And then you can also push that button and say commands like call a particular person that happens to be in your phone book. But we'll get to these buttons in just a minute. Your windshield wiper controls are here on the right side. On the left side is your turn signal, but it also has your headlight controls. So it has the DRL off, which turns off all the exterior lights, and then you have automatic, parking lights, and then your headlights. You can actually see the headlights a little bit here in this bay. I don't know if you can see that cutoff there. But anyways, we'll hopefully get a night video, proper night video to show you. Okay, so here's your gauges. And So we have your speedometer there on the right with your fuel gauge. On the left side, this is your eco. Okay, so as you're driving, if you're flooring it, then it goes up into this power range, so you're getting less fuel economy. If you're driving within this green area, you're getting good fuel economy. If you're coasting downhill and the brake system is regenerating the battery, then it'll go into this charge area. And then of course when it's off, it'll go to the off. This is your engine coolant temperature here. And you see that ready light. That lets you know if the engine is not running, that just shows you that the vehicle's ready to drive. Okay, so we have a digital clock here, digital speedometer, a little tiny thing right there. And then you can see the outside temperature, your trip, and what gear you're in. But there in the center, you remember these buttons here. So you see these icons here on the left side. As I scroll down, you can see these are different menus basically. Different options. So this first one is the fuel economy. This first one is eco, basically a little leaf right there. So you can see your fuel economy, your range, and stuff like that. Now you have the ability to scroll to the right on each one of these. So you have the eco score, digital speedometer only. This will be my default here. Your EV ratio, how much time you've spent driving on electric versus gas. And then it goes back to your fuel economy. Scrolling down again, this will be your driving support. So this will be your adaptive cruise control, your lane tracing information there. This is whatever your radio is doing will show up here. And then your energy, this is more information as far as the vehicle. So you have your energy monitor, where the power is coming from, whether it be battery or the motor. Right now it's coming from the battery, and you can see there's no lines. They'll show up a little line showing you what's actually being powering the wheels, if you're curious. Going to the right will be tire pressure, all-wheel drive system. It has a little status bar for where the power is going for each wheel. And then your safety features, it shows you what's activated and what's not there. Scrolling down again will be your settings, and you can scroll through and choose the one you want and hold down the OK button to get more information. Scrolling down again, stores messages will show up here. There's none right now. Then it goes back to the top. So I'm going to put it on my default, would be a digital speedometer. That's what I like. So just kind of a quick rundown of all the different information there that you can have on this screen and what you can access. You don't have to access any of that if you don't want to. It's just there in case you need it. All right, so there's your trip, the trip odometer. That's where you do that. Now you notice the start button is inside here. It's kind of interesting location to have a start button. And check out this big screen. So there's a big touch screen here, and you notice it's a good height. Now it's a little bit disconnected from the style of the dash, but you know, so that way they can give you that high position, so that way your eyes can transition from there to there easier when you need it, especially if you have navigation up or anything. So you notice it has the energy monitor and different things. So this particular right now is what's showing is your all-wheel drive system and how much power is going to each wheel as you drive. So you have these little icons. This is your climate control, your heated and cooled seats, radio, and this is your home screen. So when you push home right down here, this is kind of like a split of what you want. You can also pull it out and have this as, you know, a full screen. If you want to just concentrate on one particular thing, you can do that as well. You can just pull it back. This shows your audio, your navigation screen, and then whatever you happen to have up here. When you push the navigation screen, it makes it bigger. And of course you can switch sides if you like. Alright, so let's go ahead and push this menu button. Then you have your destination, audio, phone, apps, projection. Projection is your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capability on the vehicle. And of course you have your settings and stuff. So destination will just be your navigation. So let's go just look at the audio screen here. And you can choose a source. Let's go to satellite radio. And there's no volume knob. So you have a push button here or on the steering wheel. So there's no knob, no physical knob to adjust the radio. So you have your presets here at the bottom, and then your whatever's playing there. You can adjust your sound. You can go back to your audio source. Now your audio source, you have AM, FM, satellite radio, USB, Bluetooth, and auxiliary inputs. And you can reorder those if you'd like. You can also go straight to your audio by pushing that button. You can go straight to your map by pushing that button. You can go to your home screen, which would be a split. You can turn the radio off if you like by pushing the power button there. Alright, so the climate control, we have different information here on the screen, but you also have buttons down here. So you have your dual zone driver and passenger temperatures, volume, tune through the stations for your radio on the outside, and then around the outside is your radio stuff. But inside this area is your climate control. You have your fan speed. It's all soft touch buttons, so they don't actually depress. You actually just touch it. You have automatic. You can turn it off. Your front and rear defrosters are here. When you turn on the rear defroster, it also turns on your heated side mirrors and all that. So it's pretty basic as far as like how to use it. It's pretty easy. But it does have a lot of functionality. Alright, so you see the power button there. It's pretty interesting where that's there. You also have there's a wireless charge pad there for your cell phone right here. You just put your phone there and it'll charge. You also have a USB and auxiliary inputs here. And this is where you would have to plug in your cell phone. I like the way it has this locator lights. You would plug it in for your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. So if you want to use those, you can. Then you have electronic parking brake. You also have your brake hold, which will hold the vehicle while you're in traffic, even if you're in drive, if you're to come to a complete stop. You can change your drive mode and your EV mode button there. So this will tell the vehicle that you want to stay in the electric mode. But this drive mode, you can cycle through that. You have Eco, Normal, and Sport. Here's the shifter, and let's go ahead and put it in reverse. Has a nice contour of your hand. Feels good, looks good. When we put it in reverse, we have the backup camera that pops up here, and we also have this 360 camera. So all those cameras I showed you, one on the underside of each side mirror, one in the front and one in the back, it stitches all those wide views together and gives you a 360 view from top down. So as you're driving, you can get an idea. Now it's going to be slightly distorted in some ways, but it gives you a view of what's around the vehicle, and a nice big backup camera with active guidelines that you can turn. You also have active guidelines here on the top-down view as well. Give you an estimated trajectory of the vehicle's wheels, so you know it help you with parking. Now you have this button here, so you have a more linear view, or there's linear and then there's wider. So the linear view is just directly behind the vehicle. This is very distorted, but it actually gives you both ways. So if you're backing out of a parking space, this does have the rear cross traffic alert as well, but you can actually see if there's a vehicle coming from either direction with that really distorted view. But if you just want a linear view that's not so distorted, there's your backup sensors as well going off. Somebody walked back there, so that's a nice demonstration. So as far as backing up and you know, creeping through, it's pretty nice as far as the camera system. All right, so there's neutral, there's drive, and then you have a sport mode, which you can change through the gear, the speed ratios. This is a CVT transmission, so you can change through the speed ratios when needed. When we push the camera view when we're in drive, or when we're in park, we can actually see the front view. So the front view also gives you the top-down view, so you can see what's going on in front of the vehicle. Really handy. Also, this is great, the automatic function. So that means that as you're driving and you come down to when you're slowing down and you coming to a complete stop, it automatically pops this view up so you can see what's going on around the vehicle, you know, as you come to a stop. And that automatic function is really handy, especially when you're pulling in a parking space. All right, so here's your cup holders, and has these little spring things to keep your cups from wobbling around. You also have these little risers. So if you have a larger cup, you can have that, or you can have these in there to take up the space if it's a smaller cup. So here's your heated and ventilated seat controls. There's a 3-stage, high, medium, and low for both heated and cooled. This is your armrest, nice and soft, very soft. I mean, super duper soft. And it goes all the way back there. This lifts up. And it has this little storage tray that you can put some stuff in. It's removable. And there's a storage compartment here with a 12-volt power supply. You can move this forward and back a little bit as well if you like. All right, so it has here's the rear view mirror, and when you pull this back, it turns into a rear view camera. So if you just want a regular rear view mirror, you can have that like normal, but when you pull it this way, you can actually see from the view directly behind the vehicle. So if you have passengers in the way or whatever, this might improve your visibility, seeing behind the vehicle using that camera system, which is really cool. So you have your HomeLink garage door opener controls here at the bottom on this side, and then you have your adjustments as far as your brightness and different things here for the screen. Now, if you have a issue with focusing up close, then the screen might be a little bit of an issue, so you can switch to this when you need to. So I like the fact they have both. They're not just stuck with one. Okay, so up here we have some tap lights, LED powered map lights. Turn on all the interior lights with that button, or have them turn on with the door if you'd like. This is for your sunroof, and this is to, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of a cloudy day, but the sunroof actually has the ability to block some of the light in the glass, and I'll show you that in just a second. The visor has a light, mirror, that's nice. This also does not slide out this way, but it has an extender. So you can see that this extension here is nice. So that can adds to your coverage instead of just shifting it like a one that slide out. All right, so this is a panoramic sunroof. The back portion is fixed. The front portion tilts, and so we can tilt and move this front portion. But check this out, this button right here, let's go ahead and push that. I don't know if you can see, it's a cloudy day. It gets clear. You push it again, and it gives you like this softness to the light. So that way you don't have this harsh sunlight coming in at you. But if you want the full sunroof, you just push that button and it clears right up. It's a really amazing feature. And then you have, if you want no light coming in, then you can close this shade and it blocks 100% of the light. All right, let's look at the visibility in the back. Now with the technology, it has the blind spot detection system, the rear cross traffic alert. It has a lot of technology. So it does have what appears to be some blind spots. Not too bad. It does have a little window back there, but all vehicles are gonna have some level of blind spots. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty good, especially with all the technology you have. Anyways, thank you for watching, and thank you to Sparks Toyota here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'll see you guys next time.